called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Lance giving it to Sermon now on the option. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
From the 31, Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Cards, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. And Lance now to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Murray. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's Connor on the read option. A gain of 3, 2nd down. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. And you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all. And I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one. And you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders, who knows what it could be. He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Lance taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Niners on just 2 plays have taken the lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles, 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch, but their intensity doesn't waver. I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through them in the playoffs, and if you're on their road, things could be bumpy for you.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Murray off play action. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Lance.
Touchdown 49ers! Juju Smith-Schuster, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get...
Touchdown, Cardinals! Christian Kirk, 79 yards. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. Prater for the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down, it's Sermon.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down.
Shotgun now for Lance.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Second and 11 now. Lance, a give now to Sermon.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
Working from the gun, Lance. This to the outside, it's Sermon. And he is going to have a 49ers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On the handoff, Sermon.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. Keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here.
And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon.
And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Trey Sermon
with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that challenge, a successful one. Sermon will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. So it was the passing game that got him down here. But closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now 21-7. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try and run forward with Connor. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Connor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. From the 40 now on 2nd down, Murray. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 36.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're acting panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Murray now to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. A quick pass out to Juju. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Off the option, it's Sermon.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another 2nd down. It'll be 3rd.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their 3rd down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's their sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on 3rd down.
Lance now on 3rd and goal.
Escaping the pressure right.
That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Deebo Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
From the 25 on second down, Murray. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Here's Murray. It's caught right side by Daniels. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Going deep for Hopkins. And this is caught. Touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead will be cut down to 14. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Checks it down to Sermon out of the backfield. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 5 yards remain on 2nd down. Here's Lance. He'll dump this off to Sermon, complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Throwing on 1st down is Lance.
And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
To throw on 2nd and 10,
Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk.
And he lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, and call it an even 50 yards. And he missed it. It's no good. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line, as he's dropped at the 23. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a little fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up, make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half, too many turnovers. Tighten things up, maybe get in their face a little bit, get in their grill, and then send them back out.
Murray now on first down. He'll air this one out for Kirk. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Murray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Daniels. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch.
And Hopkins has got it. Touchdown, Arizona.
DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. Prater for the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Play action, now it's Lance.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now a handoff, Sermon.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They run. Here's Sermon.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Again, a run with Connor. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
63 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head, his head coach and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
On 1st down, Randolph. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Murray giving to Connor on the option.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown.
James Conner
with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. Extra point good by Prater. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On the option to give to Sermon here.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
Marcus Golden able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins, 83 yards. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Prater for the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. 49ers 28. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
They'll roll him out right. Taking a shot for Samuel. It got his man complete. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Deebo Samuel with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the 49ers are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the third quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will tie our game here in the third. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time, the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line.
90 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
An option handoff given to Connor.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll run on first down. Randolph. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game. This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Murray a give. This is Connor.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Here's Connor on the read option.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The Cardinals on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. Murray going to throw. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown. Wait, hold a second here. A flag down. Let's see if this will stand. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
Prater's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. The Lance going to throw.
This one caught by Kittle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Lance giving it to Sermon now on the option.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Back to Sermon on 1st down.
And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Here's Lance to throw it.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's Sermon.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the 11-yard line.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
From the gun, it's Lance.
That's Samuel, caught left side. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a 1-score game.
They'll try and run. Sermon.
And he is out of bounds here. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. And the field goal ties it, but you're down here knocking on the door. What are you doing?
Did you hear the way you just said that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
You with hesitance?
Yes, that means you don't want to kick the field goal, and I don't think they do either. They need to go ahead and get these points now and get an advantage and not.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the result, instead of the chip shot to tie, they turn the ball over on downs. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
2nd and 10. Murray's going to look to throw this thing. And this will be swung out here for counter. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Murray giving to Connor on the option. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the jet sweep with Kirk. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. They'll try the left side. Randolph. And they stop him short of the 1st, as he can only get to the 20. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st, as he can only get this to about the 19. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Arizona,